Welcome back to the Corona Post Show. We've got our winner right here, Connor O'Leary, taking it home, making it into the quarterfinals, up against Italo. Really heavy competitor. You kept your cool.
Yeah, I wanted to do what he does in heats and, you know, build that house and kind of take a few opportunities and just kind of spend more time on my feet than sitting on my surfboard.
Tell us, anybody to shout out back home? Heard the waves are good in Cronulla.
Yeah, heard the waves are pumping. Yeah, shout out to everyone in Cronulla. Thanks for watching. Shout out to my family, mum, dad, Rick, my wife, Steph. Yeah, I'm sure they're all cheering at home. I guess they can sleep well tonight.
So you're coming up against Manny McGillivray. He was laying down some hammers in his heat. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually staying right next door to Matty. So, yeah, it's good to kind of see myself and Matty in the quarters and into finals day. And, yeah, hopefully we put on a good show and the waves are going to be pumping. So.
Yeah, it looks like Swell looks better tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, it's looking like it's filling in this afternoon. So, yeah, hopefully wake up and we're going to get barreled tomorrow.
There you have it. We'll throw it down to Ronnie, Dimity, and Rich on the Corona Post Show.
Good on you, Strider. Yeah, big heat win there for Connor O'Leary. That is a massive victory. And, you know, he didn't have it all his own way. And he left the door open. He had a fall at one stage, Dimity, but hung on for the win. And, you know, on his way to his biggest result this year, it looks like.
Yeah, he definitely did an Italo, which was nice to see. He got busy, and we just love watching him on his forehand. It's so exciting.
You always think, though, that he's going to come back Italo, Rich. It was uncharacteristic, but a lot of surfers struggling to really connect with the lip and especially find the ramps out there today.
Yeah, it was a bit of a theme for today. There were some uncharacteristic performances, you know, especially in those last two heats. Actually, you know, seeing Matty McGillivray get up against Ethan Ewing, who we were expecting to put in that clean, crisp form that he's been showing all year, and now kind of getting the win over Italo. So. Two of the possible favourites bowing out.
With the new format, obviously you're seeing surfers that have had big wins this year come up against surfers who've made that cut. So there is a lot of big matchups. I feel like we're going to be saying the word upsets a lot throughout the next 5 events. But there was a huge one for Sammy Pupo, getting the win over Kelly Slater, the only surfer in the draw with some competitive experience here at the Quiksilver Pro, and a massive moment for him, Rich. I mean, you surfed a bunch against Kelly and never beat him once.
Exactly. I never got the chance to beat him, so I'm a little bit envious of Sammy, actually. It was, look, you know, in the scheme of things, it was a bit of a scrappy heat, but Sammy did enough. He sort of tidied everything up towards the end of the heat. Kelly found a couple of nice waves here and was able to do some of that backhand surfing that we're so used to seeing from him. But just a little, maybe timing off just ever so slightly. Tactical move here to get priority. But I think this was the final wave from Sammy Pupo. And you could see here just surfing with a bit more intent. Just blasting off the tail, surfing really unrestricted and free. And you could tell he built confidence throughout that heat. Getting one up over the 11 times world champ. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it's huge. And he didn't need a big score. It was actually a really scrappy heat, a very low heat score total. I think the lowest winning heat score total of the round, but I'm sure he'll take it.
He'll take it. Maybe Kelly had a bit of sea legs after hanging out on the boat all week.
Yeah, I think for Kelly, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head, Rich. You think about Kelly Slater, his chances at, you know, those really high quality waves on the schedule, and his best chance and his motivation level is right up when the waves are firing. Still, he's just moving with great flow at the moment. I just, you know, it's a shame to see him fall out of the mix before the conditions improve tomorrow.
Yeah, and well, that's the nature of competition, you know. It was the same conditions for both the surfers when they entered the water into that heat. So it was Sammy who figured out the puzzle and got the work done. So, you know, that's just the way of surfing. But, yeah, you know, you'd feel like Kelly, if it was 6 to 8 foot and grinding speedies, the motivation would have been a little bit higher and perhaps he would have dug into that heat and the result may have been different. But, you know, this is it. This is competition.
Yep. John Florence, been an interesting story at this event. Put the knee brace on that front leg prior to paddling out for the first round. There were some barrels out there, Dimity. It didn't look to slow him up at all. But in the third round here today, it just felt like, you know, it was going to be a little more difficult without those tube opportunities. But again, he looked brilliant.
I know, it was really encouraging signs. As soon, like, look at that turn. With the knee brace on, doesn't even look like it's hindering him at all.
He was up against Jadson Andre, obviously John sitting right up near the top of the tour rankings at the moment in second position, and Jadson scraping his way above the cut line after stop number 5. But Rich, this guy, he got here early, he got some great waves, his energy levels are high as always, and so are his airs.
Well, you know, early on in Jaddy's career, you can see there the Brazilians just layering up. They love to see Jaddy do well because he holds that energy for them. You know, he's part of that Brazilian storm, and that was a big win for him as well, getting up over John regardless of the injury. You know, that was a big win, big confidence boost for him.
Yeah, have a look at the numbers too. I mean, that big air only fetched him a 4.83. I think, you know, it is the combinations on these longer rides that the judges really want to see, but it was a really close battle, and Jaddy just getting the edge there. It's a big win. He hasn't been into the quarterfinals for a couple of years, not since 2019 in Tahiti, so this is a big one for him, and we'll definitely see him jump a few spots on the ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, shame that John actually fell out of the mix, but congratulations to Jadson. As I said, big confidence boost, and it's kind of got that feel to it, this event, that we may be seeing a winner who we perhaps didn't expect to see at the start of the event. Yeah,
well, another big clash was the one between number 9 on the rankings, Miguel Pupo, and number 10, Griffin Colapinto. A couple of surfers above them falling out of the mix already early in the contest, so a big opportunity to make some ground on the pack and get yourself right up there near that final 5.
Yeah, huge opportunity. And I mean, that's what the cut did, didn't it? It was made every heat exciting. Anyone can really win this event now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at some of the highlights. I thought this was the best heat of the day. 2 surfers who are extremely switched on at the moment, got lots of opportunity and threw down some really critical turns.
I totally agree with you. By far the standout heat. Both surfers dropping a number of good scores and actually having a couple of throwaways as well. Goofy foot versus natural foot. And they both started to really dig in here. And Griff just so smooth and so powerful on his backhand. I think out of all the natural foot approaches today, Griff was really powering off the bottom better than anyone, and then just igniting off the lip. Just super aggressive, really powerful, and finishing every wave strong.
Yeah, he's looking sharp, Dimity.
Oh, he's looking so sharp. He's looking a little bit Andy-esque.
Yeah, I just love the flow of these 2 competitors at the moment. I saw Miguel come back into the restaurant area here at Joyo's. He's super disappointed, obviously, to fall out of the mix just with the incredible surfing that he's been doing lately. But, you know, positive signs for him to, you know, potentially get his best ever finish on the CT this year and maybe even challenge up at the top end if he can keep that form alive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a very interesting quarterfinal bracket starting to show up here, and well, the top heat right there, you know, the old veteran from Brazil versus Gabriel Medina, who's on a tear back, and then Jack Rowe against Kanoa. That's a fantastic heat.
Yeah, I think the bottom side of the draw looks fantastic as well. That is a huge heat, seeing Felipe up against Griffin. You know, it's going to be a special battle, a replay of the final over there in Portugal. They
were 2 of the form surfers of today, so I feel like if they take that momentum into, if tomorrow is finals day, then that could be the quarterfinal matchup to really zone in on.
Let's have a look at the women's bracket now for the quarterfinals. Of course, that was established early on, and have a look. This is going to be fantastic. Carissa Moore meeting Sally Fitzgibbons. You know, when you get a call-up as a replacement surfer, or for the rest of the field, it's a bit of a worry when it's someone with Sally's experience and as many championship tour wins as she's had.
Oh, yeah, and her backhand is probably one of the strongest we've seen. She's taken wins at big CT events that are on lefts, and she's going to be very dangerous.
Yeah, and then Bronte McCauley obviously getting that free ticket. Tyler Wright, unfortunately, out of the contest, so she got the free ticket through to the quarterfinals, and she's going to face Brisa, and that is a big challenge for Brisa because Bronte has looked really sharp and did surf well over there at Margaret's.
And not only that, Bronte's done her time up on the desert. Left-hand point breaks up in Western Australia as well, which is there are parallels that you can draw between this wave and Nalu. Well, it's no secret. So, you know, she's going to feel really comfortable out here. She has been surfing well in the lead-up. And, well, Brissa's got that yellow jersey, so, you know, we could see an upset there perhaps.
Rich, you've almost been antisocial the amount of time you've spent looking at the Surfline forecast throughout this event window so far, so I know you're the perfect person to take us through what is coming for the rest of the event window.
Well, I think we're going to see positive winds coming out of the offshore direction, which is the first thing, because we were dealing with some onshore winds for a while there, but this swell should gradually build overnight, and we're very hopeful that tomorrow we're going to see some more energy out in the lineup. And the next couple of days after that, well, it's a bit of a lottery, so one thing's for sure, we're going to get up, we're going to go down, and we're going to look at the ocean and see what's in front of us. But on the forecast, this is what we have. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We've got waves 5 to 7 feet, and then up around the 4 to 6 foot mark on the Monday. But so in terms of wave size, fairly similar and quite consistent. But it's that period that we want to keep an eye on. We know that a longer period, it's a longer fetch swell with more power, and that's what we want to see out here. And hopefully we're going to get some of those open barrels. And, well, tomorrow might be the day.
Well, Shimmy Disco, you feel the energy. You don't really pay too much attention to the Surfline forecast. You're someone who goes in there and you sense it. And what were you sensing this afternoon? Was it increasing?
Definitely. 100%. We've been waiting a week for this, and it's going to turn on tomorrow.
Turn the volume up, Shimmy.
Let's go.
Let's get stuck into today's top 5 moments, kicking off with the big moment for Samuel Pupo, the rookie who's just having a magic run, got the big quarterfinal finish at Pipe, and today got his first victory over the GOAT.
Yeah, well, a bit of a pressure cooker heat all the way through to the end, and Sammy Pupo just surfing really well on his final wave. By far the best surfed wave of the heat, and well, anytime you get a win over the GOAT, it's a good win. And yeah, again, I'm pretty envious of that one. And the Brazilian storm really starting to layer up inside the restaurant when that final wave came through.
Well, that camera's given us some real highlight moments as well. Next up was Jadson Andre, who was overcoming a big, tough history competing against John Florence, who'd always put excellent numbers up against him, but he got one back today.
Always, and shocking to see John not get an excellent total, but Jadson's been doing that kind of stuff all week. Every free surf he's been a standout. It's really cool to see him do it in a competition.
Gabriel Medina continues his successful return, a solid finish. Back was against the wall for moments in this one, Rich, but no one handles the pressure moments like this guy.
Oh, he looks solid, doesn't he? And, well, some of that form and those power turns there, it's a bit of a warning sign for the rest of the competitors in the quarterfinals, because, well, Gabriel feels like he's starting to really warm up. And if he peaks tomorrow, whenever we get this contest underway again, well, we just might see a complete return to form.
Yeah, I think the field's been pretty wary of this guy's return ever since he made it clear. I think we were at the event in Margaret River, and he has been getting well and truly prepped. He got to Indonesia nice and early, and he just looks so sharp. Looks like he's lost no form. The same kind of form that saw him go to a third world title last year. Number 2, Kanoa Igarashi, really lighting up today, Rich, and had some of the best surfing that we saw. Oh,
yeah, and just have a look at some of these waves. And on the highlight reel, it does look like we had some really fun waves throughout the day, which we did. And Kanoa, we say it time and time again, this timing, the precision, and then the speed at which he does his turns off the top, that's his real weapon, and he brought it to the fore today, just driving off the bottom, slicing off the top, and getting the work done. And I think quarterfinals for him would have been like the lowest result that he would have been expecting coming into this event. He's there, now he can set his sights a little higher.
Yeah, on fire, and we've spoken about his history with this location. The only way was up. He's had a shocking run at G-Land in the past just as a Grom. But Matthew McGilvray owns the number 1 moment today with this solid effort on the backhand. It was the highest scoring ride of the day, Dim.
And look how smooth it was. Can you believe just how easily he did that? Massive moves back to back. Matty, he's silent assassin this week.
Yeah, generally speaking, on his road to his best results, he started kind of slow and built through those earlier rounds. And when his confidence gets up, you know, he's really capable of sticking some heavy moves on tricky end sections, and he did it all day today.
Mr. Consistency, and consistency's paid off today in a big way for Matty. And, you know, I dare say, you know, the favourite probably would have been Ethan going into that heat, but Matty's channeled that and gone, you know what, I'm just going to open up and stay busy. And we identified it. A lot of the heats winnings today went the way of the surfer that stayed busy and got an early lead and got the reps up early and started to build a bit of pressure because there were those inconsistent times.
Yeah, making the most of those moments when you don't have priority at the opening half of your heat seemed to really pay off for the surfers that went out there scratching for just about anything, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely that contest mode came into play today. You know, expectations had to be lowered. They just had to surf a smart heat, bit of a chess game.
Well, potentially a finals day for us here at the Quiksilver and ROXY Pro G-Land, so make sure you check in bright and early. Right now, though, it is time for today's highlights. Good morning once again from the southeast tip of Java, live from the jungle here at the Quiksilver Pro G-Land. Now Toledo up.
Watch the technique here. See how he kicks the tail out.
Garashi tracking down the line. Big backside, full rotation. Big hack there for O'Leary.
Sun is shining, so let's go out to play.
Kelly connecting with a pretty decent wall here. Only 15 seconds to go now as Pupo loads up after a 4.84. That is going to be enough.
We've been waiting on the sidelines for too long. Sailing off into the sunset. We're making hay while the sun shines.
Jadson only chasing a 4.55.
It's a beautiful day today, so lazy in the sunshine.
I have to give my hats off to the Brazilian Storm. They are just going mad. The support they give each other is so great to see.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.